My name is Sharyl Mays. I'm the senior paralegal here at the Marquardt law firm, and my favorite cereal is probably a combination of Lucky Charms and Fruity Pebbles. So a paralegal pretty much does everything an attorney can but go to court. I like to say that a paralegal has to have psychic abilities. They have to be a private investigator. They have to be a people person. They have to know customer service, and they just need to like people in general. I love being a paralegal because I get to connect to people, and especially in probate law, which we focus on during heavy transitions of life. You know, they're going through a very emotional time, and we get to counsel them through that and make sure that they're being taken care of for not just themselves, but for generations to come. Becoming a paralegal just kind of fell onto my lap. I started working at a small company when I was 18, and there was an attorney subletting an office from there. And he was like, "You are not going to be a file clerk. You're going to come work for me." And I worked for that attorney for 14 years and worked my way up and made a reputation for myself to where banks came and recruited me to do trust management. That's how I met Mr. Marquardt, was through that attorney, and he heavily recruited me to come here and provide a service to his clients. So a typical day for a paralegal, you would think, would be sitting at your desk for 8 hours and just typing on a computer. It is not like that. We are definitely going in between attorneys' offices, jumping on different cases. You are thinking about 3 or 4 cases at a time. You are thinking about communications from a client. You're anticipating what the court is going to say to you, and then you're thinking about the deadlines that you have to meet and how you can manage all of that at the same time. So as a paralegal or a legal assistant, you do probably about 75% of the communications with the client and the court and the different vendors that you use. So you have to know the process and know how to communicate with each of them in the right fashion. We don't want to come off as too aggressive to clients. We don't want to come off as too aggressive to the court, too demanding. So we really have to tailor your approach to things on a case-by-case basis. The client was very happy when she found out that we had won the trial. She it takes a minute for them. It was on the anniversary of her mother's passing, so it was emotional several times over. So we were happy that we could be there and support her in that time and give her a win. Common questions that our clients tend to have is, what happens when? And so we need to be able to have an answer ready for them, or if we don't, we say, that's a good question. We'll have to get back to you on that. Not giving them information just for the sake of giving their information is the best thing we can do for them. We have to take our time and understand the full picture before we just say anything to fill a silence. So as a paralegal, it's part of my job to explain to them the process of what they are going through. We don't give any guarantees, but we can give a general guideline of what to expect and when to expect it, and how we are going to move from point A to point B. As a legal team, we have to look at the big picture and kind of map our way backwards to say, this is our end goal. This is where we are now. What are the steps we have to take to get there? So a paralegal preparing for trial has a couple of different jobs to do. They have to not only help draft pleadings and do communications with the client, but they also do a lot of the evidence preparation. They do the coordinating of the trial itself. And then when we actually get there, a paralegal will typically go and help with the jury selection, just to be like a secondhand resource. And so while they're asking the questions, the paralegal is doing background checks, looking them up on social media, trying to get more information to help move that process along. Yes, a paralegal acts as a liaison between the attorney and the client a lot of the time, and also the attorney and the court. The paralegal acts as the liaison because that's where the need is. The lawyer has higher level of concentration that they're working on, and so it's the paralegal's position to support the attorney and the client by taking on that role. Oh yeah, as a paralegal, we form deep relationship with our clients. I went to lunch the other day with a client that I knew 20 years ago, and we are Facebook buddies, and she comes to town and we still hang out. So we do form deep relationships with them. We have lifelong friends. Some are short and sweet relationships, and then some are lifelong relationships, and we lean on them too for networking. You know, we scratch each other's backs. One of the biggest challenges with keeping up with communication with the client is that no case is the same as the last one. And so the need for communication is different. We work with a demographic that's slightly on the elderly side, and so technology is an issue with them. So we have to take the time to get to know how they want to be communicated to, whether it's an email, being called and told what to do. If it's still, they want hard paper copies of everything. We want to do what's best for our client. So the paralegal performs a lot of different research types. We do everything from land records to ancestry records, criminal records. I can find just about anything on anybody. I'm the detective of the firm, and so everybody will try and do it, and then they'll be like, please take over, and here you go. Yes, I use my research and private investigation skills to find people when they don't want to be found very often. You start going down rabbit holes with the research, and it's like, did you know this? I loved writing research papers in high school and college. It's unfolding the history in research. Every person that walks through our doors has a different puzzle that needs to be told, a story that needs to be told. And a lot of it just, our client doesn't even know their own family history. So when we're able to go back 3-4 generations and figure out where the loop was created, and we're able to fill that hole for them, it's exciting. It's exciting for us, and it's exciting for them too. Oh, our clients are surprised all the time about the research that we find, and families that they didn't know that they had, and places that their ancestors had come from or traveled to, or careers that they had had. They find it just as intriguing as we do. So I measure success for myself as a paralegal by how enjoyable the process was for the client. If they come back and are telling me on a regular basis, your help is so much appreciated, I couldn't have done this without you, I know I did my job. Now, if a client comes back and they're like, you haven't communicated to me, I have no idea what's going on, I know that we need to fix the procedure here, and we do that on a regular basis because our client's happiness means the most to us. So we discern that by just getting to know our clients, really. We can ask basic questions of, how do you like to be communicated? But the more we get to know them, the more we recognize on how we really need to handle them. There are some that, can be a little more high maintenance that we need to have, kid gloves with. And then there are some that are just easygoing and are like, you can get to me when you want to get to me. So we just take the time to get to know our clients, and so we can assure them that we're doing everything we need to. Sure, there is a level of satisfaction that we get out of winning. We know that we did a lot of work, put a lot into the cases and to the trials, and a win is a win. We're going to celebrate it individually and as a team because it did take all of us to get there. Yeah, we are definitely like a sports team here. Everybody has their position and their role. If Mr. Marquardt had it his way, we would be a baseball team. He would be the manager, Everybody has their part on the team and we work together, We all want to get to the World Series, so. Ooh, if I was a baseball player, I would probably be the catcher. Everybody throws to me and I protect home base. I would say one of my favorite interactions with a client it was a grandmother helping her disabled grandson, and he had really struggled, and she had taken care of him most of his life, and they were getting into a rough place financially, and we were just able to come along with them and help them get everything taken care of. And we still get birthday cards from them, and we're thinking of you, or we saw this, and wanted to let you know we were thinking of you. So it's those deep relationships that always pop up. We forget about the struggles. There is a misconception when people hire a law firm that they think they need to just talk to the lawyer. When you come in and do a consultation here at the firm, you do meet with a lawyer, but if you choose to retain us, you also meet the legal assistant or the paralegal, and you get to know them so that you have a full team around you, and that if you want to get to the lawyer, you have to go through the paralegal first. So the hardest things to untangle are estates of the elderly that pass away without a will, because we have to do so much investigation on records. There are some records that just aren't there, and so we have to know different resources. We've had cases where we've had to go back 6, 7 generations, so we have to build a case in what could have been a simple issue. Doing your estate plan now is a gift to your family. It will save them not only money, but of a lot of heartache and stress, and just being able to say, my parents took care of me. When people are like, what do you do? And I tell them I'm a paralegal, they're like, oh, I'm sorry, you have to work with lawyers. I'm like, no, you don't know my lawyers. My lawyers are great guys, and we don't do what you see on TV. So, we're great.